Today we're going to learn the basics of making a web page, specifically using Notepad and a programming language called HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. We do not need any fancy piece of software. All you need is Notepad, which is already pre-installed on your computer. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. And I'm going to save it in a folder. You can save it on your network. And I'm going to call it index.html. And click on save. At the moment, there's absolutely nothing here, but we're going to add to it right now. When we write HTML, we basically use something called tags. And everything we do has an opening tag, and it then will also have a closing tag. And you'll notice that the only difference is the slash. A good habit to get into is when you type in your opening tag, straight away do your closing tag at the same time. What we now need to do is we actually need to say that it's a website that we're working on, and we need to type in HTML. And then at the end, we need to say HTML again. So basically what we're saying is everything after this point is HTML, i.e. a website or a web page, and everything between these two is what needs to be on the website. We now need to add two different parts. The first part is the head part, and the second is the body. The head part is going to be, for example, the name of the file, as well as things like meta tags, but we'll deal with those just now. The body part is all the information that you would like to physically display to the user that's busy looking at your website. Let's set those up now. And by the way, it doesn't make a difference how many times you press enter. It doesn't make any difference to the code at all. So the first thing is I'm going to type in head, and I'm going to copy and paste that, and I'm then going to write head again, but remember to end it I need a slash, and then after my head I then need body, and I'm going to copy and paste that again and do the end at the same time. Let's now add a title, which would basically be the information that comes up at the top of your page. Now that's going to be under the head section, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write the tag for title, and if you remember, I told you it was very good practice at the same time to do it at the end. So now what we need to do is, what do we want it to say? Well, how about this is my cool website. And now what we need to do is we just need to save this, and I'm going to open up this file so we can preview it to see what we've done so far. Although it's not that impressive, but we can see right at the top it says this is my cool website. Let's add something to the body. Literally we could type in whatever we'd like. So I'm going to write, and I'm going to save this, and I'm now going to go back to our website, and although you can't see it at the moment, I'm just going to quickly refresh that, and now you can see that whatever we type in the body comes into your website. To make something bold, italic or underline, we can type in what we'd like it to be. So this is bold, and then don't forget at the end we need to type it as B again, end. And of course we would do the same for the underlining and the italics. I'm going to open up our website again, and I'm now going to refresh this, and you'll notice that we've got bold, italics and underlined. Our text is kind of small at the moment, so perhaps what we'd like to do is we'd like to make it a bit bigger. We're going to play with something called the heading tag, and I'm going to write this is the heading tag, and I'm now going to copy and paste that a couple of times, and what we're going to do is I'm going to save that quickly, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to refresh this. And remember, I told you earlier that pressing an enter doesn't make any difference. So at the moment, this is all one straight line. So what we need to do is we need to tell the program in HTML that we would like this to be paragraphs. To create a paragraph, we're going to type P, and then right at the end again, we are going to type in /P. And I'm going to do this on every line quickly. All done. Let's go back, and I'm going to refresh this again. And now you can see each paragraph is on a new line. I'm going to start off by just pasting this twice more. And what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at headers. So to create a header, there are 6 different headers that we could do. So I'm going to use header 1, and you will notice that this is on the inside of the paragraph, which becomes important. So we're saying we would like this first paragraph to be a header. I'm going to do that for each one of the different headers. I'm going to save, and I'm now going to go back, and I'm going to refresh this. And now you will notice that there's all different sizes depending on what header number they are. This is starting to look a lot better. But now let's add some color to this as well. What I'm now going to do is, once again, inside, I'm going to write font color, and you will notice that I've spelt it without the U, and I've used the American spelling. You have to use the American spelling, otherwise this won't work. So I'm now going to say that the first one I'd like to have is I'd like to have that red, and then on the inside I'm going to paste that and end it. I've added all the other colors I'd like to. We're going to save that, and once again we're going to see what this now looks like. I'm going to refresh the page, and now you can see all the different colors. Of course, if you wanted a specific color and you knew the hexadecimal code, instead of using the word, you could type in the hexadecimal color. And I'm going to save that, and that should be a turquoisey blue, and there it is. Up to this point, we've only had a couple of things on our website, but it becomes important to use indents. And you'll notice that the main indents, like the opening and the closing tabs of HTML head body, all start on the left hand side. Then other things, for example the paragraph, the start and the end of the paragraphs, are one tab, and then everything else is 2 tabs away just by using your tab button on your keyboard. This just makes it easier to read and to actually work out where something is in case you're looking for it. What we'd now like to do is we would now like to look at how to change the font size. I'm going to start a new paragraph, and in the new paragraph I'm going to type in a whole list of different things, and I'm going to end my paragraph just like I would do any other paragraph. And this is now where it becomes important. Now what I would like to have is I would like there to be a specific size. So I'm going to type in font size is equal to, and I need the quotation marks, and inside the quotation marks I'm going to put in my size. Of course at the end I will need to do that as well. The only difference is when we end this, all I have to do is say it's the end of the font. Let's go see what this looks like. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go refresh this, and there you can now see font size 7. If we would like to have this a font size 5, then I can change that to font size 5. I'm going to refresh that, and you'll now notice that it's smaller. And obviously if I made that font size 3 and 2, it would become smaller still.